Hi, this is Matthew Hammond with the Community of the Realm in Scotland, 1249 to 1424 project. And I'm going to show you today how I go about making um, a family relationship network graph using the software package Gephi. What I've got here is an Excel spreadsheet of data extracted from the People of Medieval Scotland database using a Microsoft Access front end, which allows me to make specific queries and extract data. So what I've got here is the results of a query asking about the family relationships of King William I, King of Scots. And what we basically got is a list of pairs of people, and then the definition of the relationship between those two people. So what we're basically seeing with the spreadsheet here is a list of two lists of people. The first person being King William, and the second being whoever he's got some kind of family relationship with. So I've got these highlighted so that you can see what the two lists of people are. So in the first column, you've got the Palms number. King William is actually number 1 in the database. And this third column is the gender, and there's a number code with 3 obviously standing for male. And then in the second list here, we've got, again, their Palms number, their name, and the code for their gender, with 4 being for female. Then this green stuff over here is some other information. This particular column is the count of factoid, which basically means how many times that relationship has been asserted in the database. You can see here, for example, that the relationship between William, King of Scots, and Alexander, the second King of Scots, as his father, has been asserted 63 times. This, of course, is the type of relationship, father, son, etc. And this is just some other information from the database, and basically specifying that we're just talking about family relationships here. So what I want to do is take this Excel spreadsheet and turn this into something that I can put into the Gephi software. Now, there are various ways of importing data into Gephi, and today I'm going to be using the Excel spreadsheet method. So what we need to do is break this down into 2 separate spreadsheets, one for the nodes, which are the individual points representing people in the graph, and one for the edges, which are the lines connecting the nodes. And when you use the Excel spreadsheet method for making a Gephi sociogram, you always have to upload the node list first. However, I'm going to make the edge list first because it's a little bit simpler. So what I want to do here is save this as another file, which I'm going to call edges. Now I also want to save it in CSV format, comma separated values. Any Excel spreadsheet that you upload to Gephi has to be in a CSV format. So what I'm going to do here, what I want to do here is basically have just the numbers representing the individuals. So I'm going to get rid of the name and gender columns so that I'm left with just the number for each person. I'm going to leave the count of factoid and relationship type, and I'm going to get rid of this other stuff over here. Now, the important thing with importing Excel spreadsheets is that the title of each column has to be precise. And when you're doing edge lists, you have to have a source and a target. So that's the key information for this edge list, the source and the target. Those are the basics that you always need. The count of we're going to call weight. This will then represent the thickness of the edge, showing how many times. And then we're just going to call this relationship. And then we can just save that, and that's our edge list. Now, so we want to go back to the original file that we had, and we want to get a list of all the nodes, of all the people that we can upload as a node list. So first we can just get rid of all this stuff over here. Now we need to turn our two lists of people into one. So I'm going to take this second list and I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom and paste it over there. So we have one column, and then get rid of this here. Now this, we also want to give a better titles to our column. So the important thing is we need to give the number the heading ID. I'm going to call that name, and we're going to call that gender. There's still one problem with this list, and that's the fact that we have the same names listed multiple times. So what we're going to do is create our our spreadsheet for the nodes. And we're going to have to copy and paste from this one. And what we're going to do here is get rid of all the duplicates. So you go to Data and Advanced, and then Unique Records Only, and OK. And then that filters out all the extra mentions. So we have a basic list of all the people. And we're just going to, select that, copy it, and then paste it into the new spreadsheet, and then we need to save this as well as a CSV file. Then we can close all our spreadsheets. And what we've got now is two CSV files, a node list, and an edge list. So now we've got Gephi here. And what we're going to do is just go down to Open and make sure that we're in the right place. And we want to, as you can see, the icons for the CSV files look a little bit different. They have an A on them. So you pick that one, open it, you'll get a wizard box here. There is one thing actually you can do as well that might might make this a little bit better. So I'm just going to go back here. I'm just going to take gender. I'm going to do find and replace. I'm going to replace 3 with M. I'm going to replace 4 with F. And going to replace 6 with M stroke F, because this is referring to multiple people who could be. Right. So we go back to Gephi and open. So now we've got gender, M and F. And just click through to import these here. Okay. So we get some nodes there. Now, if you go up here to Data Laboratory, you can copy your names using, go down to the bottom, copy data to other column. Click on name, copy data to label. As you can see, it does this here. If you want to shorten some of your names, for example, you can do that. Right. Now, we still need to get our edge list in. So click on edges here and import spreadsheet. Import the edges. Okay, that looks okay. Now, at this point, it's very important. Directed is it relationship data is directed. That means you're not, you're saying someone is the father of someone else, someone is the son of someone else. We want to append it to the existing workspace. That's absolutely key. So now we can also copy the relationship name over to our label within edges. Right. So we've got all our data in now, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and save the project. Now we just need to give the graph a layout. This is just a basic sort of network, so it doesn't matter. There's not a huge amount of difference, but for example, Force Atlas 2, we can go down here and tick on dissuade hubs and prevent overlap. Just takes a second. Then we can make it bigger by going to expansion. Run that a few times like that. Okay. In order to show the labels for the names of the people, you can go down here, click on this T. Right. Then you can do adjust labels over here. Label adjust. And we can also individually move these around a little bit, make them take up the space a bit more. So what we've got is some attributes, meaning additional information about our nodes and edges, which we can display on our graph. So this area here is where we adjust the appearance of things in the graph. So, for example, we can do the color of the nodes according to gender. So partition, gender, and you can change these colors if you want, but I'll just stick with them at the moment. The arrows are also showing that color because this box here is ticked. I'm just going to turn that off for the moment. You can adjust the weight of the line like this, the edges. Now we can also have the color of the labels themselves, same color as the nodes if we want. These colors are a little light, so if you want we can do this on a black backdrop by going down here and clicking on this light bulb, and we can make the labels a little bigger by adjusting this. Okay, make those a little more legible. And we also want to see the labels on our edges to tell us what the relationships are. So we go to edge, partition, relationship. Oh, that actually will give each kind of relationship a different color, like that. So we can do that if we want. And then here's we can do that to that will just show in a second. When we click on this here, that T shows the edge labels. As you can see, they're very small at the moment. We can unique edges with the TT there that makes them bigger. We can go up to say 2.5. This is a little bit crowded looking at the moment, but we can again move things around to make it a bit more legible. And we can also, if we want to, for example, pick on individual nodes and make them bigger using this tool. Let's see. This tool here. We'll click on here we go. So you can make the node, for example, the person in the middle bigger. Can recenter it like that. Let's say we want to change the colors of the labels a little bit. Go back to nodes here. Let's say we want to make that maybe a bit lighter. Oh, that's not. Yeah, you just play around with it. Find something that works for you. And that's basically it. We now have a graph showing, sociogram showing the family relationships of William, King of Scotland. We can save the graph, export it as a graph file, GEXF. This is a more stable file format than the Gephi project file. We can also then use this little camera down here to take a screenshot. Um, so let's say William family, and go over here and have a look at it. There we go. And that's it. This has been how we create a Gephi sociogram using the Excel spreadsheet method. Thank you very much for listening.